Perhaps you can walk us through first what you are most concerned about moving forward in the wake of this decision.
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is that we've heard Alito and Thomas, and now Thomas in a second decision or a supporting decision, shall I say, point the finger directly at two pieces of decisions that have been made by the Supreme Court that directly affect the LGBTQ community. One is Lawrence versus Texas. If Lawrence versus Texas is overruled, which is indicated that they want to re-look at that will make and criminalize being LGBTQ in this country, like it is in Russia, like it is in Saudi Arabia. These have big falling out, the big domino effect to this. The other piece of legislation that said they want to look at as well is Obergefell. Obergefell was the decision on marriage equality. If that is looked at and overturned, that means that my wife and I and our kids and the legal setup that we have will be disintegrated. Not only that, but I mean, the dignity of being able to visit and the need to visit someone in the hospital, your partner, your husband, your wife in the hospital will be taken away, and all the rights that go along with marriage, not only just unwinding our families as we know them. So there's a lot at stake right now. I think also for the LGBTQ community, this is about bodily autonomy. And we've seen that being attacked time and time and time again at the state level this year, in particular for trans youth. And so this is a really scary decision for our community.
I'm curious, you mentioned the Thomas concurring opinion. Did you take any relief in Kavanaugh, where he is said in his concurring opinion this should not be construed to be talking about taking rights away from those other two decisions that you wrote? And in the syllabus here on the majority, it's not in the actual majority opinion, but in the syllabus of it, where it says nothing in this opinion should be understood to cast doubt on precedents that do not concern abortion.
I mean, I think that leaves a lot to the imagination, quite honestly. I think in the decision, when they talk about Amendment 14 and the right to privacy, if you're looking at the right to privacy, Lawrence and Obergefell, that is the underpinning of those decisions. So I think, honestly, this was, in their perspective, not to start a 5-alarm fire, but it is a 5-alarm fire. If your rights in this country and your dignity are determined by those 9 Supreme Court justices, because we don't have federal protections as a community. The only protections we have are a patchwork of them at about 29 states, and then the decisions of Obergefell and Lawrence and Bostock at the Supreme Court level. So those are up for grabs now, and those are being, even that they're even being talked about, is devastating and frightening, because it reminds you that in this country, you are a second or third class citizen, that you are not equal. And that is a bigger problem that we have in this country.
And Sarah Kate, what's the path forward for GLAAD as we talk about some of these potential knockoff effects from this ruling?
So the path forward for us is the midterm election, something that you all have been talking about quite a bit, and engaging corporates on LGBTQ issues, because corporates do have economic and political clout with so much of this that they can really, and we know from the Edelman research that just came out that says that employees trust employers more than they trust the government or media, that we are looking to corporate as well to lead the way forward. But we have to show up at the midterms, because we know that people who are LGBTQ and our allies vote for human rights. And we need people standing up for human rights right now. This is a devastating day for women, for LGBTQ people, for anyone who believes in bodily autonomy and the non-policing of our bodies and our privacy in this country.